3,528 high ticket appointments for my agency from £103,000 in ad spend. That's less than £30 per appointment booked. We've also got over 12,100 leads from that same offer, from that same campaign with the same amount of ad spend, which works out to £8.48 per lead. Now, these results are insane, right? I've been running ads since 2016, so nearly 10 years. And it isn't until 2 years ago I really feel like I cracked the code on running ads for coaches, agency owners, and any high ticket offers. What I want to show you is just a simple look at what my thought process is and what you need to be doing if you're running ads and what you need to be focusing on to see similar results. Now, this strategy works for everyone, and it works for any niche, it works for any offer, because the focus is on a few key KPIs. And what I'm going to do is demonstrate to you on this video how I actually built this offer and transformed it into the results you can see on your screen today. Okay, so if you actually look at the actual spend and how it's distributed across different ad sets. So you can see here, there's loads of different tests that have various different results in terms of cost per lead and cost per book call. Now, one thing I really want to stress is, yes, having really cheap cost per appointment is great, but it's not really the most important factor. If anything, it's just a vanity metric, because if none of those 3,500 appointments bought my program, it would all be for nothing, right? So you have to take that information I've just given you and really think about this. So it's not about how do you get really cheap appointments, it's how do you get a really profitable campaign that's going to allow you to spend hundreds of thousands on it while still being able to collect, $300 to $1 million back. And just for context, with £103,000, we returned about £750,000. So it's roughly a 7 to 7.5x return over its lifespan. Okay. The other thing you want to know, or you should know, is that this campaign is not something that I'm scaling right now, because in the beginning it was very, very profitable. And over time, like any good offer, it does have a lot of fatigue. Obviously, everyone in the market has, got nearly 3 million people that have seen this offer. And in my niche, in my audience, there's a lot less than 3 million people. Obviously, the reach will dictate how many times somebody sees that. But what I'm trying to say is, when you have a good offer, it's not going to last forever. So when it is working, when it is very profitable on the front end, you need to scale it, and you need to scale it fast, because you don't know how long it's going to stay profitable for. And that's why you always have to be testing different audiences, different creatives, and ultimately different offers. Okay, you can't just rely on one thing. Even though you hear these gurus talk about, one offer, one system, one everything. Yeah, that practically makes sense, but it neglects how the market receives your offer. Okay, so you might need to build 5 different offers, 10 different offers to find that one winning offer. Okay, and a lot of people make that mistake where they just go in, build an offer, put a budget behind it, and they either make money or they don't. And if they don't make money, they say ads don't work for me, ads don't work for my business. But that's just a complete fabrication, right? It's not true. And the reason we know that is because Facebook, or Meta as they are called now, are a multi-billion, I don't even know how much, hundreds of billions probably in valuation, and their source of revenue is through ads. So if ads didn't work, they would not be as big as they are right now. So one thing you want to look at when building your offers and trying to really get the same outcome that you can see on your screen is first focusing on what you can control. Now, the 2 main variables you can control are, number 1, the offer, so the promotion that you're putting out to the marketplace, and number 2 is the audience you're putting it out to. Those are the 2 main variables you need to focus on. The style of funnel, the system in terms of, should I do DM ads? Should I do VSL? Should I do webinar? It's a second thought. The main thought is, who am I selling to and what am I trying to get them to buy? When you decide on that, you can then create an offer that is potent, that people are going to react to, people are going to opt into, people are going to book a call, people are going to convert on. Okay, so number 1, who exactly are you trying to target? Really boil it down. If you're targeting, pregnant women, right, and you're selling them a health service, then you want to be really specific. Well, what type of pregnant women? Is it pregnant women that have just conceived? Is it pregnant women that are near the end of their term, they're about to give birth? Or, who is it exactly? Is it pregnant women between the ages of 20 and 30? Is it pregnant women between the ages of 40 and 45? Who is your ideal customer? Because you need to really focus on that. And if you don't focus on the exacts, on exactly who, down to the gender, down to the age, down to the location, down to the exact pain point you're trying to alleviate, your ads aren't going to be as effective as you want them to be. So it's not about being the master of everything. I could say I'm really good at ads and I can run ads for anyone. It's probably true at this point, but that doesn't serve me well. What serves me well is focusing on one avatar. For example, an online coach that is stuck below 100K a month that has been burnt in the past running ads and haven't been able to, scale profitably with ads. I know that that's in my wheelhouse. That's someone that I've worked with a lot of times in the past. I've got a lot of great case studies for, and I can prove to future clients I can help them solve that specific pain. So you have to really think about what that audience is, and don't rush it. Really, really think about it, because the more dialed in you are, the more effective your campaign is going to be, and the more effective your offer is going to be. So now you have your audience, you know exactly down to the letter who it is and who you want to help and who you can help. You can then go and focus on the offer. What is it? What is the transformation that you can solve? What is the problems that you can solve? What is the pain that you can alleviate for them? Okay. And then what it's all about is demonstrating it in a very simple way. Okay. So if we use the pregnant woman as an example, let's say that you're targeting pregnant women between the ages of 40 and 45. Okay. Quite a late time to get pregnant. So that's fine. It's just actually a smaller audience, but it's also an effective one because they'll have an identity, right? They'll want to be in a like-minded group of people in the same position. So their affiliation to other pregnant women is great, and especially in that age demographic. You could also do it by location. So if it's just the UK, for example, or just the US, or it could be just a specific state in the US, whatever it is, the more focused you are on that, the better it's going to be, because now you have your audience. So pregnant women, let's say pregnant women in the US between the ages of 40 and 45. Okay, they're going to have certain pain and certain problems that women who are pregnant at the age of 20 aren't going to have. Okay, so then you know, okay, I'm going to focus on that. What is their specific pain that no one else in a similar situation at a different age level or age range is not going to get? Okay, so that's what I would do. I'd write down all the pains and all the problems that I could potentially help them fix with my service. And then what I do is I'd focus on an outcome. Okay, so whatever that outcome is, it could be losing weight, it could be increasing or getting rid of diabetes, because it's very common for women to have diabetes when they're pregnant. So it's what is that specific pain that a pregnant woman between the age of 40 and 45 is going to experience that you can solve with your offer, with your service, with whatever you do for them, okay, or your product. So now you have a really potent audience that you can easily target, by the way, because it's a very big audience and they're very easy to find because you can focus on interest targeting on Facebook. You can go in, attach relative interest targeting, or you can have a lookalike audience, or you can just leave it broad. But your focus should be on that audience and their interests and everything that they actually care about. But the offer itself can be very simple. It could be, are you a pregnant woman between the age of 40 and 45 living in the US, and you want to reverse your diabetes diagnosis, or you want to drop 10 pounds before you give birth? You want to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Watch this video and I'm going to show you how to do it. Or if I can help you achieve that in the next 90 days, you don't pay. Or if you don't achieve that in the next 90 days, you don't pay. So like you can still have some sort of guarantee. Not that I'm like the biggest lover at the moment of guarantees, so I don't think they actually help at the end of the curve. I think the most important part is the exact what you're going to do and the exact transformation you're going to get and how you eliminate kind of the risk. So it's not about how do you guarantee it, it's how do you demonstrate it. How do you say, look, if you follow these steps, I'm going to help you achieve this goal. So I'm probably going off on a tangent. That's fine. Tend to do that quite a lot. But ultimately, what we need to focus on is those specifics, those exact pains, and then transforming that into a piece of copy that people are going to resonate with. Okay. So just to conclude, I could almost guarantee you, if I ran an ad that targets pregnant women between the ages of 40 and 45, showed them that I have a system that's going to help them lose weight and reverse their type 2 diabetes in the next 90 days, you're going to have a lot of people clicking on that ad. You're going to have a lot of leads opting in because you're solving a strong pain for a very specific avatar. So right now you might be a health coach or you might be whoever, and you're just trying to help anyone, lose weight, reverse symptoms of some illness or diagnosis. And your actual problem is your audience. It's not necessarily the offer, because the more specific the offer is to an audience, the more effective it will be in the long term. So we had a coach that worked with us, and she was a health coach, completely just not standard, but she helps people lose weight. So pretty standard in that sense. But her results were like unmatched. It was nothing we'd ever seen before in terms of how effective the ad was straight away. And it was because of the audience. She only worked with a very specific avatar, and that avatar that she could relate to on a very personal and cultural level. So she was able to be very effective in her demonstration, very effective in her content when running the ads. The people had an affiliation to her, but also to the offer and the service that she was promoting. So her cost per call was $20, $30. She was wildly profitable and still is because of that. And the only difference really versus any other online health coach was the audience that she was serving. So think about that when you want to, get results like you can see on your screen. We've been able to spend a good amount of cash on this and obviously generate a good amount back, because it's all about the audience first, and then it's about the offer. And if your offer isn't working, if you're not getting enough appointments, if you're not getting enough leads, then you need to revisit those two variables, because it's either going to be the audience or it's going to be the offer. Don't worry too much about how you have the perfect video ad or the perfect funnel, because they're secondary. I've seen really bad funnels and really bad video ads and really bad creatives and everything in between do extremely well because the audience really wanted what they were offering. So really think about that. And I do know a video diving actually more deeper into the ads and how the strategy works, but it's all irrelevant really when you look at it from a higher level of what makes an offer work, what makes a coach or an agency owner successful with running ads. It's those two variables. So hopefully you learn something here, and hopefully I can help you out in the future. If you need anything from me, I got a link in the DMs, in the description rather, that you can click on, send a message, ask me any question you want. Happy to help. There's also a link if you want to book a call and see if I can actually help with you one on one and jump in with the ads and all that good stuff. But for now, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.